In the late 1960s, Northern California became hunting ground for a killer who would become legend. The Zodiac didn't just murder, he communicated, taunting authorities with cryptic messages and zodiac symbols. His identity remains history's greatest unsolved mystery. Between 1968 and 1970, a pattern emerged across California. Young couples and individuals were targeted in isolated areas. The killer seemed to enjoy the thrill of the hunt, leaving behind a trail of terror that would define a generation. The first confirmed victim was Sherry Jo Bates, murdered in 1966. Though investigators questioned whether she was truly Zodiac's work, the Zodiac himself would later claim responsibility. This ambiguity haunted the investigation from its very beginning. July 1969 brought the Riverside Drive-In shooting. David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen were killed in their vehicle, a signature that would repeat. The killer had found his preferred hunting method and would perfect it ruthlessly. Just weeks later, another young couple fell victim at Blue Rock Springs Park. Darlene Ferrin was killed, her companion Michael Mageau survived. The escalating violence signaled a killer growing bolder, hungrier for attention and bloodshed. The killer's arrogance emerged fully when he called police to confess. But he demanded media attention, threatening more deaths unless his letters were published. The Zodiac understood psychology better than most criminals, he craved fame above all. The letters began arriving. The Zodiac sent cryptic messages decorated with his zodiac symbol, a circle with crosshairs. He included cipher texts, daring authorities to decode his secrets. Some messages remain unbroken to this day, protecting unknown knowledge. Lake Tahoe, September 1970. Cecilia Shepard and Brian Hartnell were attacked with shocking violence. Shepard's death finally brought overwhelming public panic. California's residents locked their doors, terrified of the nameless predator in their midst. The killer announced his ambitions in a San Francisco Chronicle letter. He claimed 37 victims and promised frolicking in the paradise of my life. His boasts, his coded messages, his theatrical cruelty, all pointed to a deeply narcissistic psychopath. Then, silence. After 1970, Zodiac's communications became sporadic, then ceased entirely. Did he die? Was he imprisoned for other crimes? Or did he simply abandon his public persona, becoming invisible among millions? Investigators have pursued hundreds of suspects over decades. Some theorists point to Arthur Lee Allen, others to Gary Post or even Lloyd Hammer. DNA evidence has been inconclusive, and physical evidence contaminated. Every suspect ultimately released due to insufficient proof. Perhaps the Zodiac was a transient drifter passing through California once. Maybe he was a local authority figure, never seriously investigated. Or possibly his crimes ended through death, and his secrets died with him. The possibilities remain maddeningly endless. The Zodiac Killer represents more than a cold case, he symbolizes the limitations of law enforcement and the darkness lurking within society. His victims' families have never found closure. Their pain endures as perpetual reminder of justice unfulfilled. Decades later, investigators still receive tips and theories. The Zodiac Killer remains one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. His identity may never be revealed, leaving this darkness to haunt California's history forever.